that's us getting ready for another video. Gloves are ready, set to go, and so is my helper. So we're just going to focus on going through all the bits and pieces we've got off here that we've seen in the last video, seeing what we can save and what we can't save. If there's any doubt, it's going in the bin, and I've even made an effort to get my bin box ready here. So straight off the bat, that's in there. We're going to get a list and we're going to get parts together for all the bits and pieces we need. It's going to be quite a list because I'm a perfectionist. If there's any doubt, I'm just getting a new part, so we'll go with that. So I think what we're going to do to start with, we'll try and separate the drive flange from the disc. Straightforward enough. And that's me jinxed it. So obviously it would be easier to take off once it's on the car, but we'll see how we get on here by just taking these off. We'll have a look at the studs if they are needing replaced, and we'll go from there. Right, so we're going to try it on the floor, and we're going to try me standing on it with my body weight. We're going to try and hold that in place while we get this turned. It's a 9/16 just that holds the disc onto the drive flange. So go for it, we might need the bar bit. So you've seen the whole thing was turning with my weight on it. Obviously I'm not big enough to hold it, so what we're going to do is we've used the vise just as a brake caliper would work, and we'll see if this will work. So make sure that's on properly and lift it up slowly towards you. Okay, slowly. Oh, wait. Right, so still wasn't enough, so by jamming a pry bar in and using the vise, we've managed to get that loose enough to turn it so it comes off. Shouldn't need that now. It's just about finding the right way. Like I say, if it's on the vehicle, it's a lot easier. So somebody's misshapen the bolt, and it's not quite going over it, so we're just giving it a wee tap with the socket here. Hopefully that'll be enough to get it moved. It's the last one we need to take off. Bingo! Can add new bolts to the list. We'll know how easy this drive flange comes off the disc, if it's been off recently or if it's going to need a little persuasion with the mallet. That was close. Right, that's all 4 off, and ideal. There we go. So the drive flange doesn't look in too bad a condition. I'm going to give it a clean up and see how it looks. It might need the studs replaced, but we'll see how it cleans up. Right, so the old disc, I think this has been sitting here for a while. It doesn't look like it's ever been used, but they're about £8 to replace, so that's getting replaced. So go and undo that for a minute. And where do you think that's going? Where's it going?
bin box.
in the bin box. I still don't like throwing stuff away, so this bin box will be kept here for a while, just in case. But it's also going with the bolts. And whenever the stubborn one ended up, oh yeah, it's still in here, which we'll need to get out. So let's give this a clean up and see how it looks. So by the magic of TV, what seems like a few seconds is actually a few days, but you can see the results here. Very pleased with the way it's turned out. I went for silver, as that's the colour it should be. And as you can see, I've cleaned up all the studs, so yeah, I'm happy with that. That's just ready to go back on when I get the new discs, but that's another one off the list. Right, I'm going to look at the inner pot joint here. So I've given it a clean up. You can see it's come up in really good condition. Look inside the shaft there, and the other end, it's really something I'm happy with. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give this outer casing a coating in silver paint, primer first, then silver paint, and then I'm going to look at the inner part, just getting it cleaned up to see what it's like inside. I'm going to take all the ball bearings off, clean them and see what they're like, and then I can decide if I'm going to use it, if I'm happy with it. But I'm certainly going to give it a go, because although it's not an expensive part to replace, I've got a parts list that's getting bigger by the day, and I enjoy taking things to pieces to find out how they work and to put them back together. So, and it also means I can hopefully do this on a bench and help someone out there decide if they want to buy a new part or do this. You know, it's only by doing it you find these things out, so let's go. Right, so I've masked the outer casing up and given it a coating in zinc primer. And I'm just going to basically take this tape on that I put off earlier on, get all the ball bearings off, get them cleaned. I've got degreaser there, and I can use like soapy water or whatever just to see what it looks like, and then I can decide if it's going to keep. But to be honest, the grease has kept it in pretty good condition, and the grease doesn't look too old, so I'm wondering if it has been re-greased or changed at some point. So these ball bearings should just fall out, unless they're held in by grease and time. So if I can just so it's just a case of getting something and popping them out. Right, so the ball bearings have been popped out just using a screwdriver. This leaves the shaft and the casing for it. This shaft here only comes out one way. It lifts up like this. You can see how it all fits together. So I'm going to give this a degrease and a clean just to see what the metal's like underneath, and then we'll know how it's going to go. So the inner pot fully stripped, it's been cleaned, and you can see it's really good condition, so I'm quite happy with that. And the ball bearings, there's no chips or marks or scratches or anything like that, so I need to get some CV axle grease to put it all back together, and I then need to let the paint dry on the outer casing, and then it's just a case of rebuilding. So the inner pot fully stripped and refurbed, ready to go back together. The boot came up like new. This is the original boot. Well, not the original, it's been replaced, and it's cleaned up really well. The C-clip to go around the drive shaft. This is the casing that I painted black. Again, I'm pleased with that, how it came up. Two new clips to put the gator back on, and these are all the inner parts. I got some CV grease as well just to get it all greased up and ready to go back in. So let's see how it all goes back together. I'm quite pleased the way it's came out. It's only 25 to £30 for a new full inner pot, but I've enjoyed doing this, and if it goes back like this, I know that it's going to last for many years, the condition it's in. So yeah, let's get this back together. Right, so we're going to just coat everything in CV grease and get it nice and slimy. This only goes in one way here, and it'll only fit one way. So as you can see, it doesn't fit in that way. So I'll put that in, lift it up, lift that up from away, slip this bit, and once it's in, it turns to line up. I can show the camera. So it turns so that the shafts here and here are lined up, and what we need to do then is just push the balls in for each. So can I get you to hold this so it's fairly straight? And it is a bit messy with the and it's alright if the grease rubs off, because I can just go around and do it again. They're fairly easy to push in, just make sure that this shaft in the middle stays straight. So just make sure they're all in and they're not going to fall out. Some of them are loose anyway, but when they're in the, there you go, when they're actually in the casing, there you go, when they're in the casing they're held tight here anyway, so they can't go anywhere. So just make sure they're all seated correctly and there's plenty CV grease on it. So can you hold that there for me? Just the top bit, and I'll go around it quickly. And as you can see, they fall out quite easy, so it's fine. Pop that back in. And once that's basically in there, it then sits inside the casing here. But I'm going to put some grease in here as well, just to get that greased up. Right, so once it's all greased up, I found it easier just using it by hand than the brush actually. It just a lot smoother and you can feel it all going into all the bits and pieces. Same with here, it's all greased in here. This, if the balls are in, pushed in tight, this should just go in really easy. It just slides in like that. If the balls aren't, you can either just try and compress them to squeeze them in, or put them in here and give it a slight tap with a rubber mallet, which is what I've done. It knocks them in. You need to be careful not to damage them, but yep, so you can see it slides in and out fairly easy, and it also, you know, it rotates on its axis, which it's supposed to do. So that's just now a case of getting this back onto the C-clip on the drive shaft and get the boot installed, and then that'll be a nice easy repair. Right, getting the C-clip on the drive shaft, the inner pot end anyway, mind you they're both the same at either end. I'm sure there's a few different ways there, but what I'm going to try and do is just take it on at an angle like this with some pliers, and or even if your hand, it depends on how they are quite tight, so just getting a lip over and dragging it down, which See, I was able to do it with my hand there. So it is tight, but just be careful because it will clip. Right, you'll have seen from the video that I took the boot off, the way it goes on, this bit here gets tightened with the clamp around here, so what it does is it goes on like this. This bit clamps around here, then all of this here is pulled inside out, and the outer edge of this here attaches to the rim on the pot here. So it's a bit fiddly, especially try to film and use it at the same time, but the clips I got for these, fairly universal ones, these ones, goes on and tightens where I pointed out, and I've invested in a pair of these that then clamp that tight. You can use cable ties, but I thought these give a bit more strength, so yep, let's go for this. So once it's clamped in place as tight as it'll go, these are ear type CV cases. See, it's pulled there, that's just pushed flat, and then we trim the excess on this bit here just by tin snips or something. The other option, as I mentioned, is cable ties, which are a lot cheaper. I made a bit of a mess of the clip. I don't know if it's the best quality, but I wasn't happy with the fit. I could see basically daylight coming through here, and I didn't want that, so rather than, I've not got any more of these on order to see what they were like, rather than go with that, I've tried the cable tie here, and it's quite a decent fit. So once that's on there, like I said before, it's just a case of folding it up, and it can be dead fiddly, but once the other bits in place, this folds up and attaches onto the casing, and this bit in here gets grease put in it. But look at the cable tie fit, it's very secure, so I'm quite happy with that. So just to keep this out of the way while I'm putting the inner pot back on, I'm going to fold it back that way just now, and I'm going to get this tapped back on. You can either do it with the whole casing on, or you can take this inside out and tap it on, but the risk you run then is with the ball bearings falling everywhere, so I'm going to try it with the case on initially. Make sure the splines are all lined up. It'll only go on once they're lined up anyway, but it can be fiddly. So they're lined up there, and it's quite tight, which shows that it's against the C-clip. So So just takes a few sharp blows. You can see, I'll lift this up slightly. Once the shaft's all the way down, and here it's touching here, so you know that's when it's round there. So it's just a case next of getting this up, getting some grease in this bit here, and getting the top clip on, because it's only the top clip that really holds this onto here, and obviously when it's in the car it's all jammed in place by the drive shaft onto the differential and the gearbox. So, but while it's here, yeah, it's only held in by this clip here. This just lifts over the shaft here, and they've both got grooves, so it kind of slots in place and holds it in place. even before you put the clip on. So yep, that's it. Held in place there. And then we've got the other clip that goes over. When it initially goes on, it's just a case of pulling it as tight so that these two hooks go in here. That's the mistake I made on the inside one. I didn't do it tight enough, and then when I crush this bit, what happens with these pliers is it crushes this and squashes it all in. But if it's not tight enough here, it's going to leave some play here, but you can see looking at this, it's not going to get any tighter, so it's just a case of getting the pliers on here now and squashing that and trimming it, and then that will be that done. But if I can put this back here, pliers, I think these cost me £1.05, but if you position them on this bit here, and it's very easy just to crush, pull it tight. And then the excess bit, so it's not catching anything, just to get cut with 10 snips. Again, you can do this bit with cable ties. I've seen some of the cheaper ones. This does seem more substantial if you can do it right, but I didn't want to wait for the inside one. I think the inside one will be okay how it is, but I'm going to order some more of these. But yep, so that's basically that now on. So it's sturdy, and I was happy with it inside. I'm just going to give this bit I'm going to push that in. It's too sort of do with my fingers, and this, so it's a bit flusher and isn't catching anything. So yeah, but I'm pretty pleased with that. But that's the inner pot fully refurbished and fully back on. I'm just going to keep going as I am rebuilding this. I've obviously got the other side to do and other bits and pieces, so I'm not going to film everything when it's the same on the other side, but I'm going to be soon moving on to the swivel hub, just replacing the bearings and the arms here, and obviously the ball joints, and getting into it to see what it's like. And then I still undecided yet as to what I'm doing with the discs and the calipers, whether I should refurbish the caliper. They're fairly easy to do if the bore inside's okay, and I might look at doing that, but the problem is the time you pay for the parts and do that, you can near enough buy a full caliper disc and disc shields kit for probably a slightly cheaper, so it's just weighing up what's going to be best. But yep, if there's anyone out there that wants to see me do the calipers, take them apart and refurb them, yeah, I can certainly look at that. I would need to take them apart anyway to see if they can be refurbed before I do that, but yep, I can do that. So that's the end for this video anyway. Hopefully someone got something out of it, and again, so thanks for the subscribers and thanks for watching, and I'll see you again soon.